29th, 1995, Vice Lake, California.
Okay, so some things that I'm first going to ask you is, so I want you to describe the type of environment you grew up in. So like the schools or just in general, like in the urban or suburb, and how many like siblings you have.
Okay. It was just my brother and my mom and dad, kind of in a nicer neighborhood, and went to all Tulare schools. That was pretty much it. It wasn't too crazy or anything.
Yeah.
Just.
Did you come from an ethnically diverse community?
No.
No. So it was just pretty much
a lot of old white people over there.
And how was that for you?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, there was maybe 4 kids in the neighborhood, and we all pretty much hung out every single day.
Yeah.
But the rest were just like older, tired people.
Okay. Would you say your family was poor, well off, or in between?
I'd say in between. But yeah, my mom was a principal, my dad owned a business, and kind of just.
And how was that for you as a kid?
It was good. I mean, he owned a restaurant, so pretty much had a nice homemade dinner every night.
That's good.
So.
Okay. What is one of your fondest memories of your childhood? So any like trips or just things in general you did with the kids in the neighborhood?
I'd say camping. Everything outdoors was pretty fun.
Yeah. Did your mother work outside of the home?
What do you mean? Like she was in the house mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a principal here in Tulare.
Why did she have the job? Is it just like to support you guys, or just in general?
Yeah, it's just something she's always wanted to do. She's always an independent woman. Doesn't want to like be a leech on people, so she decided to get a nice job. And she likes working with kids and everything.
What is the highest level of education you have received?
Me, some college. I wasn't Fresno State, but had a little bit of partying too much, so I'm working on it to get back in there.
Yeah, that's good. Did you go to public schools or private?
Public.
Yeah. Do you remember doing disaster drills in school? So like that's like the going under the desk.
The earthquakes and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing all those.
Okay. Was your school segregated as a young child?
No.
No?
I mean, it was primarily, there weren't too many black kids or Mexicans or anyone there, but
it was.
I mean, the races that were there, we all got along just fine. So everyone hung out with everyone.
Yeah. And did it have many girls' sports teams?
I think so, yeah. There's an equal amount.
Yeah.
There's a guys' team, there's a girls' team.
Do you remember any of the major events of the civil rights era?
Not too many. I know there's the main ones, Martin Luther King and all that stuff, but nothing too detailed on it.
Yeah. Okay. So, how do you feel about like the civil rights movement back in the time?
Back then,
yeah,
I think they did it the right way. They knew that their kind was being mistreated and everything. They did everything very peacefully, compared to how today's going, where they start riots and all that stuff. It's the wrong type of media attention I think they're receiving.
So, how you feel about it now is you kind of wish that it was.
I mean, I understand police officers are mistreating African American people, but police officers kill white people, they kill Mexican people, they kill anything. If you're breaking the law and you're putting their life on the line, you don't even start a riot about it. Like, you gotta sometimes admit the fact that, okay, well, he broke the law, put the officer's life on the line, and it's his life or their life.
Yeah.
So.
So, do you have any like memories or thoughts about the Vietnam War?
Not many. I don't have any family members that were in the Vietnam War, but I know that war was very frowned upon by American people.
Yeah.
And those soldiers that came back were spit on and frowned upon for going over there.
Yeah.
So I feel like those guys need to be recognized a lot more.
So you do oppose the war?
No.
Or you don't oppose the war?
I oppose the people that spit on them. They're trying to defend our freedom for everything.
Yeah.
Help other people out. I oppose whoever spit on them.
And how come?
How come?
Yes.
Because the people that spit on them had the right to spit on them because those soldiers were protecting them. So I just think that's completely wrong. And it still happens today.
And your view hasn't changed at all?
Not really.
Okay.
We're putting people in freedom
Mm-hmm.
and helping Americans out to live how they want to live, and they think we're doing the wrong thing and spitting on us and everything.
So do you recall the whereabouts or like the death of President John Kennedy?
Texas on the parade.
Mm-hmm. And so do you have any family members who even went or heard about it or felt like differently towards it or anything like that?
That he was assassinated?
Uh-huh.
No, that's all I really know. He was assassinated. I'm not really educated on that topic.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about the death of Martin Luther King?
Shot in the back of the hotel, right?
Mm-hmm. What was your general mood about like the whole situations of people getting like assassinated over things like that?
I don't really know. Like, I mean, some people feel strongly
Yeah.
on races, which is pretty stupid. We're all equal. Every
Yeah.
race has fought for this country
Mhm.
equally, so I feel like we're all equal and
Yeah.
everyone should be treated equally.
So you don't have any family that like kind of like witnessed it or anything like that?
No, never in the South or any of those areas.
Yeah. What impact did the events of September 11th, 2001 have on you?
What impacts? I mean, I was pretty young when that happened.
Mhm.
I forget what age I was, but I remember sitting there on mom's bed watching it on TV when the plane hit the tower.
Mhm.
And like, from then, I didn't really understand what was happening, but I knew it was a pretty tragic event.
Yeah.
It's just terrible that they would ever do that to innocent people.
Yeah. Do you believe that the event still has an impact on your life now?
On my life,
Yeah.
I mean, with the new terrorist group, ISIS, Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, I think they're stepping up to be bigger than Al Qaeda, and so I feel like that's got a pretty big impact on everyone's life.
Mhm.
So they're saying they have movement of troops in the states, at least 15 states, I believe they said, and so they have guys everywhere, and
Yeah.
I think they're gonna try and attack inside the states.
Do you think that the American people are just in more fear now ever since that happened?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell every airport is different from how it was back before 2001 and how it is now, where you have to go through a bunch of searches and everything.
Yeah.
So everyone is kind of scared.
Okay, and I think that's about it. So thank you so much for
Oh,
your
no
time.
So doing the interview, I realized a lot of things. For example, some of the things I noticed are that Veterans Day is not just another day we get off. It's a day that we get to give thanks to our troops who helped shape our earth and country. They've done so much for us. It also gave me a good understanding about how civil rights were back in the day as opposed to now. For example, in the interview, the veteran I talked to, they were really surprised at how back in the day people were more peaceful about striking, and nowadays there are a lot of police brutality and just a lot of people getting hurt, and so much like the Ferguson. Basically, things are just more different. In some ways, we like to think that things get better, but also in some ways they get a little worse. Another thing it helped me realize is just how many differences there are, such as people are now more diverse in schools and the communities. There's much more like races and ethnicities, and back in the day it was kind of like your own little clique. Another thing that I realized was that they feel really strongly about the events that happened in 2001, such as 9/11. It helped me see how it affected them back in the day, and it still affects them years later. Although the person I interviewed was a bit younger, I still had a full understanding about how things in the past have affected our time now. For instance, they still have a full understanding about segregation and the problems of homosexuality back in the day. All those differences still played a big part. They do realize how it was a big change for America, and they also helped me realize how things now are much more different than the past. And interviewing the veteran helped give me a full understanding of how civil rights played a huge part of how our country